Hi everyone, welcome to the Ever-Seeking Empath. I'm a reader who uses tarot, oracle, and charms, and today's reading is your next relationship. So because it's October, we're doing a little bit of a Halloween theme overall, but I just wanted to do kind of a relationship reading. I haven't done something like this in a while. I did have a really popular video on your next first date, if that's something that you're interested in, so I'm going to link that below as well. But today's video is just going to give you kind of an overview on what your next relationship might be like, and we're just going to kind of see what came out in the cards. I do want to remind everyone before we get started that this is a general reading, so it might not resonate with everybody, so just take the messages that you feel are meant for you and then disregard the rest. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button for me and subscribe to my channel if you've not already done so. Share the video if you feel called to do so as well, because this really does help out my channel. It helps me out, and then you get to see when I've posted new content right away. This kind of content will be suggested to you, and then yeah, just everybody wins. And thank you so much to those of you who have already subscribed. I do want to kind of keep this channel growing as much as possible, so thank you. So we have 3 piles here today. We've got these kind of vintagey Halloween postcards on each pile. So pile 1 is the little witch with the black cat and the pumpkin. Pile 2 is the witch kind of fishing little letters out of the pumpkin that looks like it's like a cauldron on kind of a fire. And then pile 3 is the owl on the pumpkin. So just let your intuition guide you to a pile. I'm going to put timestamps for each pile in the description box and in the comments below. And we are going to get started now with pile number 1. Hi group 1. So if you chose the first postcard with the witch and the cat and the pumpkin, then this is your message, so welcome. We're going to start with your tarot and oracle cards, of which we have a lot. And then we're going to do your charms at the end, so make sure that you stay tuned for that. So let's kind of delve into your next relationship. For the tarot, you have Page of Cups, Inventiveness, the High Priestess, Inner Wisdom, and the Two of Cups, Relationship. So that's a fitting card for a relationship reading. So I'm definitely getting that this next relationship is going to come after a time of looking within, really following your heart, following your intuition, because the High Priestess is about inner wisdom. It's often about mystery as well, like trusting that things are coming your way even if you can't see it. It's kind of indulging in the mystery, so being really drawn towards divination, tarot cards, you're watching a tarot reading. But it can also just be about trusting and having faith and recognizing that things will come in when they're meant to. So I think for a lot of you, that's kind of the approach that you might want to take towards this next relationship, especially if you're waiting for somebody to come in. But I do feel like there's going to be this kind of fun, new, like puppy love stage, because that's often what I think of with the Page of Cups. And this one in particular says inventiveness. So this might be somebody a little bit different than your usual type. This might be something that comes about differently than you expected. This might be somebody who is just a little bit offbeat. That's kind of the impression I get, like very Aquarius energy. Just a little bit offbeat compared to people that you would normally find, but just very intriguing. They might be a very mysterious person too with that High Priestess, so I feel like a lot of you are going to just want to know more. But I do think that this could be the start of a really fun relationship. Like you feel like you get along very well. You feel like you might be kind of just connected, like from the same soul family. That I think is going to be how it's going to feel very soon. It's not going to feel like, friends and then growing into more. It's not like a slow burn. It feels like you just kind of spark it and you just really are interested in each other. But this isn't one of those relationships where it's like instant passion and then that's the place you come from. This is much more of like a deeper understanding of each other. But I want to see what your oracle cards have to say. So you have number 1, selling out. So this makes me feel like a lot of you have perhaps been in a relationship in the past that you knew was not right for you anymore, and you've been kind of sticking with it anyway because that's what people expected of you, or you felt like you couldn't do any better. Because that's really what I think of with selling out, is just like, this could even be a series of hookups or something where you just felt like that wasn't really what you wanted, but you felt like that was the best you were going to get. It's really that kind of energy, like just not being true to yourself, being true to what you want, being authentic. And a lot of you, I think, are wanting to kind of change the way that you approach things and really do what you want. So if you've been kind of keeping things casual and you want something more serious, that's what you're going to be moving towards. If you've been taking things too seriously and now you want a little more fun, that's what you're going to be moving towards. So I think a lot of it is really kind of focused on what you feel like you've been missing. Like, a lot of you really have been gearing towards what doesn't work for you rather than what does, and now you're ready to kind of shift that focus. You have I love you. These are powerful words, number 20. So a lot of you maybe are going to be hearing I love you, that this could be like a serious relationship coming. It's not obviously going to get serious from the get-go, like immediately, but I do feel like this has that long-term potential to fall in love. It's not necessarily just going to stay in a hookup phase. And if it is something that's going to stay much more casual, then maybe you do have like a great respect for each other, or you start to get along as friends besides that. Like with that Two of Cups, I just feel like this is a very compatible relationship, that you two really do get along quite well. You fit together. You have a lot of kind of mutual interests. You have great things in common. Your values kind of line up, but it's just somebody who's very aligned with you. You have Thumbelina, number 13, expectations. So a lot of you might need to kind of shift your expectations. So with that selling out card, that's kind of one thing I was thinking, is that maybe you're expecting things to not work out, so you're settling for less because you feel like you can't get what you want. And so now you maybe have to shift your expectations to think, hey, I can have everything I want. I can do that. Or even like drop your expectations if you're expecting like a knight in shining armor type situation where you go in to save somebody else, or they come in to save you, you know, something a little bit more fairy tale-ish. Maybe you have to adjust your expectations and look at it more realistically. But I just feel like there is this shifting that has to occur of what you're anticipating, how you approach things, just how you're looking at things. And then you have the Rose Elf, Revelations, number 29. So I think a lot of you, this might kind of come to you out of nowhere. Maybe that's why you have to have that time to just look within and be on your own and really kind of examine what you actually want with the High Priestess, is that you are going to find out some revelations. You're going to have some things revealed to you. You're going to recognize what you're really looking for. Maybe you will kind of recognize that there is somebody around you who you could kind of move towards, or who's interested in you. But I feel like there is this kind of aha moment coming in for you where you're going to recognize what it's going to take for you to move something forward. You have Strange Valentine, Love is Strange, number 27. So that fits with what I was thinking with the Page of Cups, with that being, I believe it said inventiveness. That fits with this, with somebody being a little offbeat. Maybe they're not your usual type, whoever this person is coming in. Maybe your relationship doesn't kind of resemble relationships you've had in the past, or it doesn't resemble relationships around you. Like maybe you're taking on a little bit of a different relationship dynamic. But this is just saying be true to yourself and make sure that you are going after the kind of relationship you want, and not just something that you feel like fits with what other people expect around you. And then you have Amara the Menehune, Aloha Healing, number 19. So this card, I believe, talks about connecting with nature and just really slowing down, kind of appreciating the moment, using nature to heal. I do want to kind of look at the book because I'm not as familiar with that card, so hold on one second. Okay, so this is really focusing on your health, because it does say Aloha Healing. So it says, Amara has come, and so it is time to begin to eat more fresh fruits, drink healthful juices and smoothies, take dance lessons, have a tropical bath with flower petals, and bring the energy of a waterfall into your life. There's just a lot of focus on relaxation, healing, taking a vacation. I feel like a lot of you maybe have been very stressed out, and that's something that's preventing you from having the kind of relationship that you want in your life. And maybe a lot of you need to just take better care of yourselves, because with selling out, that often kind of tells me that you're doing something that's not good for you or that doesn't make you feel good. And especially she's covered in blood, like that particular card. She's got blood on her face and on her clothes. So I feel like a lot of you maybe are just feeling very beaten down, and you really need to focus on your health and your emotional healing as well. Like just from whatever situation was in your past, you need to find a way to kind of focus on your healing, turn within like that High Priestess card said, and just make sure that you're investing that energy into yourself so that this relationship can come in. And this might provide kind of a route to your healing as well. And then you have Jack-o'-lantern, protection. So I think that this relationship will be very protective, since I was just saying that this might be a relationship that helps you to heal. It might be a very protective relationship that this person might feel very protective over you. They might want to make sure that you are not being kind of taken advantage of by anybody else, whether that's like, I'm thinking setting family boundaries is one big thing that's kind of coming to mind. So maybe if you have a family dynamic that's not the most healthy or the best for your mental health, this person wants to kind of help you with that. They want to help make sure that you're not taking things personally, things like that. So I feel like this does seem like somebody who really does care about you, and that's why I was kind of thinking with if this is something that kind of grows from a friendship into something more, this is somebody who like knows you or will know you very well and just kind of can read your emotional state and wants to help you protect yourself as well, so that you're not just giving in to other people's demands, like with that selling out card. You have bad health, number 31. So that's fitting with the Aloha healing card, since it's saying that you really do need to focus on your healing. So some of you might actually have bad health right now, but otherwise I feel like it is the health of your relationship or the health of your lifestyle, or just like the health of your relationship dynamics with other people. I just feel like there is something that needs to be healed. That time alone, that rest really is going to be important for you to do that. You also have poverty, number 37. So for a lot of you, I think that this is talking about somebody not feeling good enough for someone else, feeling like they don't have enough to provide for someone else or to give to someone else. So maybe that's with this strange Valentine. Maybe this is saying that this person doesn't provide for you what your family would expect them to, or what they want them to provide, or maybe they don't have a lot of money, or they don't have a lot of relationship experience, but there's just something where somebody is feeling lacking, and you might be that person who feels like you are lacking as well. But just recognize that you don't have to stop yourself from entering into a relationship just because you feel like you don't have enough to provide. And then finally you have abandonment, which talks about abandonment issues, possibly ghosting and forgiving yourself and others. So a lot of you might have some abandonment issues from childhood or from past relationships. The person coming into your life might have some abandonment issues as well. So I feel like this is going to help provide you or this person with an opportunity to heal from this abandonment. So whenever you were feeling abandoned or misunderstood or whatever this was, this relationship is going to be a healthy alternative and a route to your healing. So I would never say allow somebody else to heal you, or, make sure that you are healing somebody else. You're all responsible for your own healing. But I do think that this is going to be kind of one opportunity for you to recognize what needs healing and to have somebody to fall back on. Like if you're feeling bad about yourself, this person's going to love you unconditionally. So that's a really great approach to this relationship. So let's get your charms now for some more detailed information. So your next relationship, group 1. All right, so you have the white leaf in the heart. So for one, this is making me think of raising the white flag, even though it's not a flag, it's a leaf. But that's making me think that a lot of you might feel like relationships are not meant for you because you've had so little luck. So this is saying just try not to pay too much attention to that. You don't have to raise the white flag. You can take a break. I think that is recommending that you do take a break from relationships for a while. Just take that time to heal yourself and focus on yourself. But I do think you have a good opportunity coming in. And then the white leaf also makes me think of just letting go. It's that kind of fall, autumn energy of just letting things drop that don't work for you anymore, allowing some new growth to come in and making room for that new growth to come in. So you've got a few different numbers here. So you have number 3, you have number 19, and then you have number 7 as well, if I can get that going the right way. So those could be significant dates or just significant numbers in another way for you. And number 19 is actually the number of the Amara the Menehune card. So that aloha healing there, I do feel like that healing is going to be significant for you. That's a big energy that's kind of pervading your reading, is that energy of healing. Make sure that you are focusing on that, because I think that is going to make way for this great relationship, for this very healing relationship. You have wish. So I think make a wish that fits with that expectations card as well. Make sure that you are expecting something higher than you're necessarily allowing yourself to want, and then smile. So try not to be too negative about this. I think a lot of you are feeling very jaded, very cynical about this, and you don't have to. You have O, so that could be a significant initial for you. I'm trying to flip some of these over as well. And besides just being a significant initial of a name or something that relates to this situation, the letter O always makes me think of like an aha moment, just saying, oh, you know, a realization, a revelation, like we were seeing in your cards as well. You have Emma, so that could be a significant book. That's by Jane Austen. So that story might kind of resonate for you, but the name Emma also might be significant if your name is Emma or a partner's name is Emma or someone coming in. That might relate to your situation, but that also makes me think of matchmaking, because Emma loves to be kind of a matchmaker in the people's lives around her. So I feel like a lot of you might even meet somebody through a friend or have somebody kind of hook you up with this person. You have the flamingo. So that makes me think of balance. It makes me think of kind of standing out, being a little bit flamboyant, so not letting yourself close off to the world because you feel like you stand out. So with that love is strange, the inventiveness, this person's going to stand out, you are going to stand out to them. I do think that you're kind of birds of a feather as well. That phrase is coming to mind. You have the bow, which always makes me think of things being kind of tied up neatly. So I do feel like things are going to work out a little bit more neatly than you're anticipating, because you might be used to very messy relationships, and this is going to be presented to you in a different way. And that also makes me think of things actually being presented to you in kind of a pretty little package. So maybe that relates to the matchmaking. Maybe somebody's going to kind of shove someone at you and be like, hey, I think you guys would get along. And that's going to be the beginning of things. You have Charlie Brown here. And he is very cynical, but here he's got a smile. So that's just another message to try not to be too cynical, really kind of embrace the positive thinking in this situation. Try to go with the flow and not rush things. With the turtle, I do think that you're going to have to allow things to go as slowly as they need to go. Get a higher perspective. So try not to get too close to the situation and think that, you know, a past relationship is your only chance at love, or feeling like you screwed something up because of one incident, you know, things like that. And then also, this person might be at a distance from you. Travel might be involved. That might be a way that you meet them as well. You have the tree here, so growth, stability, family legacies comes up with that as well. So this could be someone you have a family with. It could be somebody that your family introduces you to. Maybe that's how you meet. Instead of through a friend, it's through a family member. And then you have the little devil face. So this makes me think of indulgence. That's really making me think of that selling out card. So maybe you did have that toxic attachment to a past relationship that you're trying to kind of break free from. And it doesn't even have to be like your last relationship. It could have been something distantly in the past that's just influencing how you approach relationships at this moment in time. But I think that the advice is to just really relax, take your time, look within, focus on your healing, and this is going to come to you. And I think it is going to be a really positive relationship for you as well. So group 1, I hope that this resonates. I would love to hear if it does. So please leave me a comment below. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, share the video if you want, subscribe to my channel if you've not already done so. I hope you have an awesome rest of your day, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching. Hi group 2, so if you chose the little witch with the cauldron that looks like it's on a fire, then this is your message, so welcome. We've got a lot of tarot and oracle cards to get through, so we're going to start with those and then do your charms at the end, so make sure that you stay tuned for that. So let's kind of delve in and figure out what your next relationship will be. For your tarot, you have King of Cups, Fascination, Six of Wands, Victory, the Hermit, Introspection, and finally, Knight of Swords, Idealism. So regarding zodiac signs for this pile, King of Cups is representing Scorpio in this case because they've got the Scorpio symbolism. The Hermit represents Virgo, and the Knight of Swords represents Gemini, but also other air signs, other water signs might be prevalent as well, but it doesn't have to be. Those zodiac signs are just extra messages if those resonate. So, for your next relationship, similarly to group one, I feel like this is going to have to start by you really introspecting, figuring out what you want. I think this next relationship is following a period of time alone. So if you are currently alone, you might be already in the midst of this energy. If you are in a relationship that you're leaving and you're wanting to know who you're going to be with next, I think you are going to need some time alone first before you get into this next relationship. But I do feel like whoever is coming in is going to be a really positive relationship for you because you have victory. So that makes me think there's going to be a lot of respect there, a lot of excitement. It's just going to feel like you finally achieved something that you wanted, because that energy always makes me think of achievement and success. And in a relationship context, it makes me think of like when you meet someone and you end up finding out that they like you back and you feel like you won the lottery because they're such a great person. It's that kind of energy. With the King of Cups being fascination and also the Scorpio energy, it makes me think like you're always going to want to know more about this person. Like you really want to dive in. They're going to want to know more about you as well. They might start off kind of guarded, be hard to get to know at first. And with the kind of Gemini of this Knight of Swords, it might feel like there's like two halves to them. Like you see one half that's very sweet and nurturing, and then the other half's a little bit sharper, witty, you know, a little bit more sly and cunning as well. And so I think it's going to be hard to figure this person out, but I feel like that's going to be a puzzle that you'll want to solve as well. And with idealism, maybe this person is a very idealistic person. And it's kind of funny that this is Gemini because it makes me think more of Aquarius energy. So I feel like this person is going to be more like closely related to your ideal type, especially more so than you'd expect. Because I feel like with that kind of mysteriousness of the King of Cups, this is going to be somebody who won't show who they are at first. And as they start to open up more and more, you're going to realize that they are really what you're wanting. So that's a really good sign for this relationship, that this is going to be kind of turning out a little bit more positively than you might think right from the get-go, right when you meet them. But let's get your oracle cards and figure out some more. So you have number 10, pay attention to signs. So some of you might be getting some kind of universal support when you meet this person or when you start dating them, especially if you are second guessing yourself as to if this is right for you. I think this is saying follow your internal guidance, because you have the Lantern here. That always makes me think of the Hermit. And I think you're going to be getting those external signs as well. So whether it's repeating numbers, songs on the radio, spirit animals, because we've got this snowy owl up here. But I think you are going to be getting some reinforcement to say, yes, trust yourself, go with your gut, go with this particular person, see what happens. You have patience, number 17. So this is love is patient and kind always. So I do think that this person is a very patient person. I don't think that they're hot-headed or have a major temper or anything, so that is good news. But I also feel like this is referring to you needing to be patient before you meet them. So being patient to wait, before you meet them, before you really get introduced to who they are, or being patient to let them open up in their own time. Because if they are this mysterious person, I think they're going to be taking some time to open up in layers with you, that they really have to know that they can trust you before they fully open up. So you're going to have to be patient with them. This person cannot be rushed. You also have the little match girl choice, number 19. So maybe you will have a choice between this person and someone else, or you're having to make the choice between staying single and dating again, because the little match girl is sitting outside with this book of matches, and she probably has the opportunity to go inside or go home, but her situation there might not be as good. So she ends up staying outside for a while, but she has to kind of figure out whether or not to take that chance. So I feel like a lot of you might be kind of stuck in that area of wondering, should I even risk this? Should I not? And that, I think, is why it's saying pay attention to signs, because you will know the answer. And that's why you need to introspect, like the Hermit card is saying, is because that's really going to help guide you to figure out what choice is right for you. You have a clockwork pumpkin, a wonderful idea, the aha moment, number 39. So I feel like this is making me think of like the gears turning in your head, like as you start recognizing more and more things about this person, or as you start spending more time with them, you're going to recognize whether or not this person is right for you. And I feel like most of you are going to decide that this person is right for you, but there is going to be this aha moment saying, yes, this is the right choice. Whatever this is, whether it's staying single or like being alone or being with this person, that is the right choice for you. And you are going to have that aha moment where it just kind of hits you all at once, you know, where you're recognizing this is the person I want to be with, or hey, I'm really happy on my own. I feel like this is going to come up in kind of a like smack you in the face kind of way. And it might be accompanied by these signs like this card is suggesting as well. You have hearth, happiness in our hearts and homes. So I feel like this is going to be kind of a cozy relationship, and this is also making me think of that hermit energy of like really being happy on your own, being like finding a way to make your life feel cozy and warm and just comforting. But I do feel like that is representing this person's energy, the relationship's energy, that it's going to feel very happy and not necessarily always excited and like passionate, but just very warm and loving and safe. And I think that that's an energy that all of you really need right now, because a lot of us, I think, have gone through times of just feeling like the world is tumultuous, our lives are a bit tumultuous, and having that stability and safety is going to be important. You have message of concern, number 14. So I feel like this person would be the type to really reach out if they're worried about you. Like if you are going through something, I feel like a lot of you, like if you go to the hospital for something or end up like not reaching out, this person's going to be like, hey, you okay? Just checking in. Like it's that kind of energy, or like they want to know like if you got home safely. You know, I feel like it's that kind of person where someone just really is a little bit worried about you. And I feel like this person probably doesn't let on how much they worry about you. But I think via this kind of message of concern, like when they ask if you're okay or ask if you got home safely, that is going to kind of demonstrate how they feel about you. So that might be kind of a little message for a lot of you. And then you also have courthouse, number 23. So this could mean that there's some kind of legal issue involved. So some of you might actually end up with this person, end up making this legally binding. Some of you might meet someone in a courthouse, or they might be a lawyer. But I feel like overall this is just representing institutions. It's representing like a similar energy to the Justice card as well, like something fairly turning out. It's making me think like your karma is coming back to you. So if you've been putting out there the energy of wanting to meet somebody, this is kind of that final decision coming in. And then you have total connection. So this is somebody who's very like-minded, you're very compatible, you have healthy attachment styles, which is really important because I think a lot of the time we end up in bad relationships when we just want somebody to make us feel better. So this is saying that this is very healthy. I was definitely getting that from this Hearth card as well. But that's awesome news, that this is a very healthy relationship. It's very loving, very safe. And I think a lot of you are really in need of that. And I love also the contrast I'm noticing between the little match girl sitting outside in the cold with her match and then hearth, because a lot of the time in a lot of versions, that's what she's dreaming of, is this hearth. So I think a lot of you have felt very left out in the cold. I'm kind of surprised we don't have the Five of Pentacles here. But you felt very left out in the cold by relationships in the past, and now this is your chance to have something very loving, very warm, something that just makes you feel safe. And I think that that is what a lot of you are looking for, is just that you want to feel safe. So that's awesome. That's very important to feel. So let's get your charms now for some more details. So group 2, your next relationship. right, so in the heart we have the bat. So this represents, like it always makes me think of a swarm of bats, like your fears coming to life. Um, so a lot of you might be feeling like you're going to just like open the door and then your worst fears are going to come true. So I think a lot of you are anticipating something bad coming again. So I feel like a lot of you have been in really negative relationships in the past, and that's about to change. And a lot of you might have kind of feelers out in a lot of different places. Maybe you're asking a lot of people to kind of hook you up with someone, or you've got like a lot of dating apps on your phone or something, or you've been on a lot of dates. This could also represent just being really busy, having a lot of things to take up your time, so maybe you don't even feel like you have time to date. But I think this is suggesting to just calm down a little bit, to like take some of those things back, like try not to be as invested in so many different things, because that doesn't leave a lot of room for new things to come in. So with that hermit energy, to just kind of take some time for yourself, really connect with what you want, what you don't want, who you really are, what lessons you've learned, things like that. And then I think this relationship will come in once you've kind of made that connection again to yourself. All right, so trying to figure out where to start. Let's start with the number 7. So this could be a significant date or number for you. The number 7 also is chariot energy in the tarot, so it could mean that you're going to be overcoming obstacles to move into this relationship. It's also just making me think 7 is a very spiritual number as well, so this could be that you're feeling like you're getting a lot of spiritual help and signs, and I think you are being very heavily supported right now. You have 2 zodiac signs coming out, so you have Cancer energy, which says imaginative on the back, and then you also have Pisces energy, which says intuitive. So imagination and then intuition, those are going to be very important for you right now. Those are both water signs, so that fits with your King of Cups that came out, and the King of Cups was saying Scorpio, so this is extra emphasis on those water signs, because Scorpio is the only one we didn't get out here, so maybe that's trying to represent all the water signs coming out. So this person could be a water sign, you could be a water sign, but otherwise you're just taking on those energies right now. We have But First Coffee. So I think a lot of you are just needing to take a step back and refuel. That's kind of it's making me think of, especially being by the rocket ship. That's making me think of refueling before launching. So a lot of you, I do think, have to take that time on your own and really connecting with yourself, healing, just taking some quiet time before you can move into a new relationship, because things have been so crazy. And you have crazy, so that makes me think, yeah, things have been so crazy. I think you just have to allow things to calm down. But I think this person's going to be crazy about you. You're going to be crazy about them. I think they're very sweet, and they think you're very sweet as well. So there's just a lot of really positive energy in the words and stuff coming out. And then you have wishes do come true. So this could be the type of person that you have been wishing for. That's kind of what I was getting with the hearth and everything as well, and the idealism that came out on the Knight of Swords card. So I think that you are really getting the kind of person and the kind of relationship that you want deep down, even if it doesn't initially seem like who you want. I think that they're going to start opening up to you, and you're going to recognize them as the type of person that you feel is good for you. You have the Egg Cup here, so that makes me think of just trying not to harden yourself to the outside world, because you've been through difficult situations in the past. You have the Pink Swan, so swans often make me think of soulmates, mating for life, kind of just that love energy, you know, like the swan boats that go through the tunnel of love. Like, that's the kind of cheesy energy I'm getting from this, and not like super over the top cheesy, but just that very warm, kind of old-fashioned feeling love as well, which is interesting because I don't say that often, but it's making me think of just a very warm, romantic, loving relationship that I think might start out kind of slow as well. And then you have the Pack Mule, so that kind of emphasizes what we were talking about with the octopus that came out in your heart, is that energy of just taking on too many burdens, not being able to carry all of that, so needing to put something down before you can move forward. You have the little bear with the baby, so some of you might have kids, and that might be something that is holding you back in a situation, or that might be why you're hesitant to step into something. You might have kids with this person, or like you might eventually have kids with this person in the future. And then this can also just represent a sense of comfort and safety. So that's definitely emphasizing the hearth card as well that came out. You have the fairy. So fairy energy is very joyful, very playful. It's very airy and light. So not taking things too seriously right away, just kind of taking the time to get to know each other. And then you have the angel that represents judgment. So the judgment card in tarot is things coming back around. It's kind of like what I was talking about with the courthouse card, with like just whatever is coming up, like whatever you have put out into the universe, the results of that are now going to come back to you. So whether that's something coming back around from the past that's not quite finished, whether that is something coming towards you that you've been trying to manifest, but it's just like the answer to what you've been looking for. That's kind of the energy that I'm getting. So group 2, this is awesome. I feel like, again, like it's kind of similar to group 1, that I think you need to take some time to retreat and get to know yourself a little better before you can embark on a new relationship. But this is signifying something wonderful and long-term and stable and safe coming towards you. So that's awesome. If this resonated with you, I would love it. I would love to hear about it. So please leave me a comment below. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, share this video if you feel called to. I hope you have an awesome rest of your day, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching. Hi group 3, so if you chose the owl on the pumpkin for your card, then this is your reading. Welcome. So we are going to start with your tarot and oracle cards, of which there are a lot, and then we are going to do your charms at the end, so make sure that you stay tuned for that. So let's kind of delve in and figure out what your next relationship will be. For your tarot, you have the Queen of Cups, intuition. You have the Six of Pentacles, generosity. And you have the Four of Swords, repose. So there's like a major theme permeating all three of these piles, and that is to rest. I think a lot of you need to take some time alone before your next relationship. All three piles got kind of a variation on this message. So I feel like a lot of you need some time to contemplate, time to connect with your inner self, and like really connect with your intuition, especially your pile. I think connecting with your intuition is going to be key because you have the Queen of Cups. Now this card is associated with Cancer, because you can see the Cancer symbol on her there, so that could be a significant zodiac sign for you, but otherwise all water signs might be kind of coming out. But that doesn't matter if that doesn't resonate with you. That's just one message for some people. But I feel like your intuition is going to guide you to your next relationship. I think you're going to be able to trust your intuition in this scenario. And if you're not really sure what's going on, I think that's when it's time to rest, to retreat, to kind of just check in with yourself, take a break if needed. But with the Six of Pentacles, since that says generosity, this is going to be a very reciprocal relationship. I think that you will not have to worry about if this person is going to pull their weight or give back to you in the way that you give to other people. I don't think that you're going to have to worry if they're kind of spreading themselves too thin and giving to people outside the relationship. I think that they are going to be giving back to you and match your effort, which is awesome, because I think there are a lot of relationships where it's very one-sided. This is not that kind of relationship. And I also feel like this could be a relationship either between introverts, or there's at least one kind of more seriously introverted person in this relationship because of that Queen of Cups being intuition. That makes me think of checking in with yourself a lot. And then with Four of Swords being repose, just taking that time out, time alone. So whoever you're with, or you might be this person too, might really just need breaks a lot of the time, like just space, time on your own. So if you're feeling neglected, like this person is not making time for you, or like they're wanting too much space or something, don't worry too much. If they aren't making time for you, then I don't think that that is the person we're talking about in this group right now. But if this is somebody who's just pulling away and needing some space, don't worry too much. Don't think that means they're not interested. They just need their time alone. So let's check in with your oracle cards. So you have number 16, inner child. So a lot of you might be kind of connecting with your inner child. That might help lead you to this person. But I feel like overall with inner child, that's making me think of being able to heal inner child wounding, because this is from a healing deck. But otherwise, I feel like you might just feel playful with this person. You might feel like they're very playful and very connected with their inner child. You might also have children involved in the relationship somehow, whether that's you having children together, wanting to have children together, or just somebody has children and that's an obstacle in the relationship. You also have family and tribe, number 20. So that kind of fits with what I was talking about with potential having a family, like somebody has kids. So family is going to be very important to this person or in this relationship somehow. Maybe family approval is important in some way as well. But I think that this person is from like your soul family as well, that they are very connected to you in that way. Like you feel like you're cut from the same cloth. You're not like total opposites or anything, that you just feel like you fit together somehow, and they are going to be very supportive. Family is going to be prioritized, so whether that's with you or just the family that they have around them, that's very important in this relationship. You have treasure your loved ones. It is important to love others deeply, number 10. So that's kind of fitting with what I was saying about family being important. So treasuring your loved ones, I think that that is going to come up a lot. So especially if you're feeling like this person takes space a lot and you're worried about them caring about you, I don't think that that is a concern in this relationship because of the treasure your loved ones, the family and tribe. This person really loves the people around them and they want to show it. So they might show it in a different way than you're used to. But I do think that they make an effort to be reciprocal and to be generous to the people around them. You have Dawn the golden-haired, duty, number 40. So yeah, there's definitely a sense of having an additional responsibility in this relationship. So I do feel like for a lot of you, that means this person has kids or a kid, or just has family responsibilities of another type. Maybe they're a caretaker to older relatives, parents. Maybe they have a family business. Maybe they just really value their family and that they do prioritize them. But I don't feel like they're going to neglect you in the process. It's just eventually you might be kind of included in that family collective, but they really take that duty seriously. So that might be something that you really like about this person, is that they are very serious about kind of carrying through on their promises and being responsible for the people around them. You have autumn is my last chance. Please don't lose hope, number 6. So some of you are probably feeling like you are losing your chance for love. A lot of you, because we've been focusing so much on family, a lot of you might be feeling like you're coming close to not being able to have kids. That's a valid concern for a lot of you. So this to me is saying don't lose hope. I don't think that you're approaching your last chance. I think that you are going to get the chance to have what kind of relationship you are desiring. It just might not look exactly like you had been hoping for or been expecting, but I think you are going to feel satisfied with it in the end. Just try not to be too cynical about it. Try not to lose hope. So that's another theme that's kind of going through all the piles too, is to be very optimistic about the future and not have too many expectations. And I think that's why it's saying to retreat as well, is to detach from those expectations and really connect with what you know in your gut so that you're not doubting things based on overthinking. You have eternal love. Love is love is love, and it transcends physical death. So that's like a major soulmate energy for me. So I feel like a lot of you, this is like a past life relationship coming back around in this lifetime. So some of you might feel like you've known this person before, and this is kind of signifying that soulmate energy. Some of you might just have somebody who, when they love forever. Sorry, there's a glare on that so you can't see it, so I'm going to move it over here. So a lot of you, if you're feeling like this person's going to not be loyal to you or something, I don't think that that's the case. This to me is very much someone who's serious about who they love. If you are included in their inner circle, they love you. They will do whatever it takes to take care of you, because there's very much this caretaking energy in this pile. You have number 22, official person. So this person could be like in a government position or a higher level position, somehow even like a manager at a company or something. But overall, this is making me think of like just taking on a lot of responsibility. So that's kind of what we were talking about with that sense of duty, that sense of responsibility. This person feels like it is their responsibility to take care of the people around them, ensure their health and happiness and safety, It's very much a protector energy, but not in just like a physical safety, but like provide for you, make sure that you are having everything that you need. You know, it's just very much, it's a very caring energy. It's very warm and loving. So that's a really good sign. And then you have mirror. So you two definitely mirror each other. I think if there's any kind of wounding that you're seeing in this person, it might be something that you recognize in yourself as well. I think with that soulmate energy too, and being cut from the same cloth, you are going to recognize a lot of similarities between you and this person, even if you express them differently. But I think it is going to cause you to reflect more. So especially if you're someone who kind of wants to connect a lot more in the relationship and not take as much time alone, this might cause you to want to take more time alone to get to know yourself a little better, because you do have that Four of Swords energy, and this says introspection. So I think that's going to be important. And then self-image as well. So a lot of you might be feeling like you need to work on your self-image, or your image of yourself, the way that you see yourself, is changing because of this relationship with this person. So that's awesome too, because I feel like this person is going to be a trigger for a lot of growth for you. But I don't think it's going to be because of trauma. I feel like a lot of you might be like, yeah, well, people make you grow even if they're terrible to you. But this, I don't see that being the case in this scenario. So let's get some charms for you for some more detail. Group 3, your next relationship. All right, you guys got the most charms, I think, out of any pile. So you have number 18 in the heart. So that could be a significant number for many of you. But number 18 in the tarot also refers to the moon card. So that's illusion. It's sometimes your dark side. It is a very introspective energy as well. So I think a lot of you, that introspection is going to be key. That I think this person is going to kind of reflect your wounds back to you, not necessarily in a negative way, but you're going to start recognizing things about yourself that have been holding you back or that make you not as happy, and you're going to be wanting to work on those things in this scenario. So that's really good. And I think this person is going to provide a safe and stable, like safe haven for you while you work on these things. I'm going to move these out of the way so that I can put this back there so you can see all of your charms. You have the letter A, so that could be a significant initial for you or for this person, but that's also next to Aquarius. So Aquarius could be significant as well, and that's friendly. But that's the other thing, is this could just signify somebody very friendly, very talkative, very engaged in other people. I think that this person really does care about people a lot. You have believe in love, so I think that's going to be significant, is making sure that you are believing that love can happen for you. I think that's why it's saying don't lose hope. Don't be too focused on, this being your last chance. Don't be too focused on when this is going to happen. I feel like a lot of you are probably like, when will this happen? It hasn't happened for me yet. It's never going to happen. Try not to think that way, because I think that's just blocking this from coming in towards you. You have the corkscrew, so that talks about opening up. It talks about, I feel like even like whining and dining, like fancy dates as well is kind of coming up in this kind of reading for me. But I do feel like my usual meaning for that charm is opening up, uncorking something, opening up emotionally to someone, having that safe space to do that. You have the sun, which is great. So that's a very happy energy, very successful energy. You have this frog, which is symbolizing transformation, adapting to new ways of thinking, new lifestyles. You have the octopus, so that's having kind of juggling a lot of things, like basically having your arm in many things. The octopus has 8 arms, and they've got a lot of things going on, so I feel like a lot of you might have that, but this one kind of looks alien to me, so this also represents an alien a lot of the time, so it could mean that you're just afraid of the unknown. You don't know what's coming, and that is kind of keeping you held back because you're sitting in that fear energy. You have the elephant, so that's always making me think of an elephant never forgetting. So if you've had negative relationships in the past, you don't forget about them. Those are still kind of being carried with you, and that might be something that's kind of holding you back as well. You have the pineapple, so that's a symbol of hospitality. A lot of you might be really feeling like this person just welcomes you in to their life, to their family. I just feel like you're going to feel very cared for by this person. You have Eeyore. So, yeah, this is definitely my mopey pile. You might be feeling very down on yourself, down on your luck, down on your relationship luck in particular, feeling like it's never going to happen for you. So I think this is kind of maybe a wake-up call for you to say, try not to do that too much. This is a French horn. It could represent music, it could represent creativity, but when it was this way, it's making me think of like waking up, like someone blowing a horn in your ear and being like, hey, wake up, try not to think that way. That's kind of what I'm getting, is that this is your wake up call to try not to be so cynical, give it a chance, be positive, try to embrace some optimism. And I know it's easier said than done, but I think that is really what's going to help you in the end. And that's why it's saying heal yourself, retreat, take that time on your own as well. You have the circus. So part of the fun of the circus is not knowing what's coming. So yes, things are being hidden from you. I think that's why we got the number 18, which is the moon. Things being hidden from you, you not being able to see what's coming next, but that's part of the fun. That being pleasantly surprised, I think, is an energy that you need to start taking on more of in your life. You have the owl. So maybe listening to somebody wiser than you, or like a mentor or somebody who can kind of help you get a better perspective might help you in this scenario. You have the little shell purse, so a lot of you might be really preoccupied with what you can provide to somebody else, feeling not good enough, feeling like you're trying to kind of put on a facade of being better than you feel inside. And I think you can kind of drop that and be more authentic. I think that's going to help you more than trying to put on a facade anymore. You have Cupid. So that's always a good sign in a love reading, is that new love coming in, that excitement, that new energy. It is coming. It's kind of got its eyes set on you. So just allow it to happen. Try not to control the outcome or the timing or anything too much. You have the seed of life. So that's a symbol of creativity, creation in general. So yeah, new things coming up. So I feel like a lot of you are just feeling like you can't see it, so you're not trusting that it's coming, but new things always come. The leaves fall, things kind of hibernate for a while in the winter, and then spring always comes around. So just keep that in mind. Your spring is coming. You have the number 1. So that's a number of beginnings. That's magician energy. So really focusing on what you want to manifest and not focusing on what you're fearing, knowing that you have all the tools to create the life that you want. And then you have the person who is being flexible, the gymnast or the dancer here. So this talks about trying not to control the outcome, be flexible in the way that things will happen, in what happens. Try not to be too kind of overbearing on the outcome, because what's coming to you might be a lot better than you're expecting initially, or hoping for initially even. So group 3, I definitely feel like you've got a great relationship coming to you, but I feel like you, out of all 3 groups, have the most internal work to do first. That you really have to kind of dive within and figure out what those wounds are so that you can allow somebody in again, because I think that that's going to be what's going to prevent things from speeding along, is if you are focusing too much on what you don't have and not focusing on what you're wanting to bring in. But I think that you do have a really great outcome coming for you as well. So group 3, if this resonates, I would love to know if it does, so please leave me a comment below. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, share the video if you feel called to do so, subscribe if you haven't done so in the past. I hope you have an awesome rest of your day, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching.